Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalaam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासारि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept noble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा लेबांग प्रभु तंदार्पणम जय श्री प्रभात वंतुरित कृष्ण प्रंजल प्रभु तंदार्पणम जय श्री प्रभात लेबांग प्रभु, do you want to read the first verse of this chapter?
No problem, Prabhu.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Which one, Prabhu? You're going to Bhagavad Gita, ne? Sami, Prabhu.
Oh, I was muted. Yes, Prabhu, this is the 18th chapter, first verse.
Yeah, but you do not share your screen, Prabhu.
Oh,
I
is it?
see. I think you're still on Mangala Charana pray.
Oh, yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha Sanyasya Mahabahu Dadvam Ichami Veditum Tyagasya Cha Hirshikesha Praktak Keshi Nishudana. Synonyms Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said Sanyasasya renunciation Mahabahu Almighty Amdwan Dadvam truth. Ichami, I wish. Veditum, to understand. Tiagasya, of renunciation. Cha, also. Rishikesha, O master of the senses. Pratak, differently. Keshi Nisudana, O killer of the Keshi demon. Translation. Arjuna said, Almighty Amdwan, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tiaga, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa. O killer of the Keshi demon, Hirishikesha, purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Gita. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is finished in 17 chapters. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. In every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. This same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service. Yoginam api sarvesham, of all yogis or transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature and activity were discussed. In the third six chapters, knowledge, renunciation, the activities of material nature and transcendental nature, and devotional service were described. It was concluded with the Supreme Lord, summarized by the words Om Tat Sat, which indicates Vishnu, the Supreme Person. In the third part of Bhagavad Gita, devotional service was established by the example of Acharyas and the Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, which cites that devotional service is the ultimate purpose of life and nothing else. Certain impersonalists consider themselves monopolizers of the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra, but actually the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service. For the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and he is its knower. That is described in the 15th chapter in every scripture, every Veda. Devotional service is the objective. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. As in the second chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. Similarly, in the 18th chapter, also the summary of all instruction is given. The purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of the transcendental position above the three material modes of nature. Arjuna wants to clarify the two distinct subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, namely renunciation, tyaga, and the renounced order of life, sannyasa. Thus he is asking the meaning of these two words used in the verse to address the Supreme Lord, Rishikesha and Keshi Nishudana. Is it Nisudana? are significant. Hrishikesha is Krishna, the master of all senses, who can always help us attain mental serenity. Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. He therefore addresses Krishna as Keshi Nisudana. Keshi was a most formidable demon who was killed by the Lord. Now Arjuna is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. Text 2, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Kavoyo Vidu Sarvam Karma Palam Tyagam Prahus Tyagam Vichakshanaha. Synonyms: Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kamyanam, with desire, Karmanam, activities, Nyasam, renunciation, Sanyasam, renounced order of life, Kavayaha, the learned, Vidur, no, Sarva, all, Karma, activities, Palam, of results, Tyagam, renunciation, Prahu, call, Tyagam, renunciation, Vichakshanaha, the experience. Translation: The Supreme Lord said, to give up the result of all activities is called renunciation, tyaga, by the wise, and that state is called the renounced order of life, sannyasa, by great learned men. Purport: the performance of activities for results has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, but activities leading to advanced spiritual knowledge are not to be given up. This will be made clear in the next verse. There are many prescriptions of methods for performing sacrifice for some particular purpose in the Vedic literatures. There are certain sacrifices to perform to attain a good son or to attain elevation to the higher planets, but sacrifice prompt by desire should be stopped. However, sacrifice for the purification of one's heart or for advancement in the spiritual sense should not be given up. Tiagyam dosha vad iti eke karma prahu manishi naha yagya dana tapaha karma na tiagyam iti chapare. Synonyms: Tiagyam, must be given up. Doshavat, as an evil. Iti, thus, aka one group, karma, work. Prahu, said. Manishinaha, of great thinkers. Yagya, sacrifice. Dana, charity. Tapaha, penance. Karma, work. Na, never. Tyagyam, is to be given up. Iti, thus, cha, certainly. Apare, others. Translation: Some learned men declared that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up, but there are yet other sages who maintain that act of sacrifice, charity, and patience should never be given up. One moment, Prabhu. Okay, yes, Prabhu. Translation: Some learned men declared that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up, but there are yet other sages who maintain that act of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Purport: There are many activities in the Vedic literatures which are subjects of contention. For instance, it is said that an animal can be killed in a sacrifice, yet some maintain animal killing is completely abominable. Although animal killing is a sacrifice is recommended in the Vedic literature, the animal is not considered to be killed. The sacrifice is to give a new life to the animal. Sometimes the animal is given a new life, is given a new animal life after being killed in the sacrifice, and sometimes the animal is promoted immediately to be to the human form of life. But because there are different opinions amongst the sages, some say that animal killing should always be avoided, and others say for a specific sacrifice it is good. All these different opinions on sacrificial activities are now being clarified by the Lord Himself. Nischayam Shrinu mi tatra Tyage Bharata Satama Tyago hi Purusha Vyagraha Trividaha Samprakrititaha. Synonyms: Nischayam, certainly; Shrinu, hear; me, from me; Tat Ra, there; Tyage, in the matter of renunciation; Bharata Satama, O best of the Bharatas; Tyagaha, renunciation; he, certainly; Purusha, Vyagra, O tiger among human beings; Three Vidaha, three kinds; Samprakiritaha is declared. Translation: O best of the Bharatas, hear from me now about renunciation. O tiger among men, there are three kinds of renunciation declared in the scriptures. Purport: although there are differences of opinion about renunciation, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna gives his judgment, which should be taken as final after all. The Vedas are different in different law given by the Lord. Here the Lord is personally present, and his word should be taken as final. The Lord says that the processes of renunciation should be considered in terms of the modes of material nature in which they are performed. Yagya dana tapaha karma natyajam karyam evatat yagno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Synonyms: yagya, sacrifice; dana, charity; tapaha, penance; karma, activities; never; tyajam, to be given up; karyam, must be done; eva, certainly; that; yagnaha, sacrifice. Danam, charity; tapaha, penance; cha, also; eva, certainly; pavanani, purifying; manishinam, even of the great souls. Translation: acts on sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Purport: the yogis should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is called Vivaha Yagya. Should a sannyasi who is in the renounced order of life and who has given up his family relations encourage the marriage ceremony, the Lord says here that any sacrifice which is meant for human welfare should never be given up. Vivaha Yagya. The marriage ceremony is meant to regulate the human mind to become peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, this Viva Yagya should be encouraged even by persons in the renounced order of life. Sannyasis should never associate with women, but that does not mean that one who is in the lower stages of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in the marriage ceremony. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. If charity is given to suitable persons as described previously, it leads one to advanced spiritual life. Etanie api tu karmani sangam tyaktva palani cha kartva yanti me prata nischitamatam udamam. Synonyms: etani, all this; P. Certainly. Tu must. Karmani. Activities. Sangam. Association. Tyaktva. Renouncing. Palani. Results. Cha. Also. Kartavayani. As duty. Iti. Thus. Me. My. Prata. O son of Preta. Nischitam. Definite. Matam. Opinion. Uttamam. The best. Translation: all these activities should be performed without any expectation of results. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Preta, this is my final opinion. Purport: although all sacrifices are purifying, one should not accept any results by such performances. In other words, all sacrifices which are meant for material advancement in life should be given up, but sacrifices that purify one's existence and elevate one to the spiritual plane should not be stopped. Everything that leads to Krishna consciousness must be encouraged. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also, it is said that any activity which leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. That is the highest criterion of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, or charity which will help him in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord. Niyata syatu sanyasaha karmano nopa padyate mohat tasya parityakas tamasaha parikrititaha. Synonyms: niyatasya, prescribed duties, do, but, sanyasaha, renunciation, karmanaha, activities, na, never, upapadyate, is deserved, mohat, by illusion, tasya, of which, parityagaha, renunciation, tamasaha, in the mode of ignorance, krititaha, declared. Translation: prescribed duties should never be renounced. If by illusion one gives up his prescribed duties, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Purport: work for material satisfaction must be given up, but activities which promote one to spiritual activities like cooking for the Supreme Lord and offering the food to the Lord and then accepting the food are recommended. It is said that a person in the renounced order of life should not cook for himself. Cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Supreme Lord is not prohibited. Similarly, a sannyasi may perform a marriage ceremony to help his disciple in the advancement of Krishna consciousness. If one renounces such activities, it is to be understood that he is acting in the mode of darkness. Dukam iti eva yat karma kaya klesa bahayat tyajet sa kritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga palam labet. Synonyms: to come, unhappy, iti, thus, eva, certainly, yat, that which, karma, work, kaya, body, klesa, troublesome, bahayat, out of, tyagjet, fear, saha, that, kritva, after doing, rajasam, in the mode of passion, tyagam, renunciation, na eva. Okay, renunciation, na ever, certainly not. Tiaga, renounced. Palam, results. Labet, gain. Translation: anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear is said to be in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Purport: one who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activities. If by waking one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by rising early in the morning one can advance his transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or become such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always miserable. Even if a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the results of renunciation. Yeah, Prabhu, someone else can continue, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept number obeisances of glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Standarpanam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Who wants to read next? Karyam ityeva yat karma niyatam kriyaterjuna sangam tyaktva palam chaiva satyagah satviko mata. Karyam must be done. Iti das eva das yat that which karma work niyatam prescribed kriyate performed Arjuna O Arjuna Sangam association tyaktva giving up phalam result cha also eva certainly saha that tyaga renunciation satvika in mode of goodness mata in my opinion. Translation. But he who performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done, and renounces all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is of the nature of goodness, O Arjuna. Purport. Prescribed duties must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for the result. He should be disassociated from the modes of work. A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna. And when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendentally. Nadvestya akushalam karma kushalena tyagi sattva samavishto medavi chinna samsaya. No, never. Dveshti hates. Akushalam, inauspicious. Karma work. Kushale, inauspicious. Na nor. Anushajate becomes attached. Tyagi, the renouncer. Sattva, goodness. Samavishta, absorbed in. Medavi, intelligent. Chinna, cut up. Samsaya, all doubts. Translation. Those who are situated in the mode of goodness, who neither hate inauspicious work nor are attached to auspicious work, have no doubts about work. Purport. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that one can never give up work at any time. Therefore, he who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually a renouncer. There are many members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office or in the factory or some other place, and whatever they earn they give to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated in the renounced order of life. It is clearly outlined here how to renounce the fruits of work and for what purpose fruits should be renounced. न हि देहभृतस्याख्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सद्यागीते अभिद्यते. Synonyms. Na, never. He certainly. Dehabrita, of the embodied. Sakyam, possible. Tyaktum, to renounce. Karmani, activities of. Asheshata, altogether. Yaha, to anyone who. Karma, work. Para, result. Tyagi, renouncer. Saha, he. Tyagi, the renouncer. Iti, thus. Abhidiyate. It is said. Translation. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. Therefore, it is said that he who renounces the fruits of action is one who has truly renounced. Purport. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore, he does not have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after death. Text number 12. Anishtam mishtam mishram cha trividam karmana phalam bhavadyaginam pretya natu sanyasinam kvachid. Synonyms: Anishtam leading to hell, Ishtam leading to heaven, Mishram cha or mixture, Trividam three kinds, Karmana work, Phalam result, Bhavati becomes, Atyaginam of the renounced, Pretya after death, Na too, but not, Sanyashinam of the renounced order, Kvachit at any time, translation. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to suffer or enjoy. Hmm. Purport: a person in Krishna consciousness or in the modes of goodness does not hate anyone or anything which troubles his body. He does not work in the proper He does work in the proper place and at the proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person situated in transcendence should be understood to be most intelligent and beyond all doubts in his activities. Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodame Sankhye Kritante Proktani Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam Adishtanam Tata Karta Karanam Cha Pritakvidam Vividascha Pritakchesta Daivam Chaivatram Panchamam. Synonyms: Pancha, five, Itani, all these, Mahabaho, O mighty armed one, Karanani, cause, Niboda, just understand, me, from me, Sankhye in the Vedas, Kritante, after performance, Proktani said, Siddhaye perfection, Sarva all, Karmanam actuated, Adishtanam place, Tata also, Karta worker, Karanam cha and instruments, Pritakvidam different kinds, Vivida cha varieties, Pritak separately, Chesta endeavor, Daivam the supreme, Cha also, Eva certainly, Atra here, Panchamam five. Translation: O mighty armed Arjuna, learn from me of the five factors which bring about the accomplishment of all action. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be the place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, and ultimately the supersoul. Purport: a question may be raised that since any activity performed must have some reaction, how is it that the person in Krishna consciousness does not suffer or enjoy the reactions of work? The Lord is citing Vedanta philosophy to show how this is possible. He says that there are five causes for all activities and for success in all activity, and one should know these five causes. Sankhya means the stalk of knowledge, and Vedanta is the final stalk of knowledge, accepted by all leading acharyas. Even Shankara accepts Vedanta Sutra as such. Therefore, such authority should be consulted. The ultimate will is invested in the super soul, as it is stated in the Gita. Sarvasya chaham ridi. He is engaging everyone in certain activities. Acts done under his direction from within yield no reaction, either in this life or in the life after death. The instruments of action are the senses, and by senses the soul acts in various ways, and for each and every action there is a different endeavor. But all one's activities depend on the will of the super soul, who is seated within the heart as a friend. The supreme Lord is the super cause. Under these circumstances, he who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the super soul situated within the heart is naturally not bound by any activity. Those in complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions. Everything is dependent on the Supreme Will, the Super Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 15. Shariravan manobiryat karma prarabhate nara nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetava. Synonyms. Sharira, body, vak, speech, manobi, by the mind, yat, anything, karma, work, prarabha, prarabhate, begins, naraha, a person, yam, right, va, or, viparitam, the opposite, va, or, pancha, five, ete, all these, tasya, its, hetava, causes, translation. Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these five factors. Purport. The words right and wrong are very significant in this verse. Right work is work done in terms of the prescribed direction in the scriptures, and wrong work is work done against the principles of the scriptural injunctions. But whatever is done requires these five factors for its complete performance. Taitraivam sati kartaram आत्मानं केवलं तु या पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वान् न स पश्यति दुर्मति. Synonyms. Tantra there, evam certainly, sati being thus, kartaram of the worker, atmanam the soul, kevalam only, tu but, yaha anyone, pashyati sees, akrita buddhitvat due to unintelligence, na never, saha he, pashyati sees, durmati foolish. Translation. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. Purport. A foolish person cannot understand that the super soul is sitting as a friend within the conducting within and conducting his actions. Although the material causes are the place, the worker, the endeavor, and the senses, the final cause is the Supreme, the Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should see not only the four material causes, but the Supreme Efficient Cause as well. One who does not see the Supreme takes himself to be the instrument. Who wants to read the text number 17? Libor.
Prabhu, I like it when you yawn and read at the same time.
Yes, bro, sorry. Libor. We read.
Why is Rahul Prabhu or Zero Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we need someone to read.
Rahul Prabhu, are you busy?
Or maybe Lebang, Prabhu, you can read one more.
No problem, Prabhu. Yasya nahon krito bavo budir yasya na lipyate hadvapisa imaleokan na hantina nibadyate. Synonyms: yasya, of one who, never, ahankrit, false ego, bhavaha, nature, buddhir, intelligence, yasya, one who, never, lipyate, is attached, hatva, a being, even killing, saha, he, iman, this, lokan, world, never, hanti, kills, never, nibadyante, becomes entangled. Translation: one who is not motivated by one who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, is not the slayer, nor is he bound by his action. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the Lord informs Arjuna that he desires not to fight, arises from false ego. Arjuna thought himself to be the doer of action, but he did not consider the supreme sanction within and without. If one does not know that a super sanction is there, why should he act? But one who knows the instrument of work himself as the worker and the Supreme Lord as the supreme sanctioner is perfect in doing everything. Such a person is never in illusion. Personal activity and responsibility arise from false ego and godlessness, or a lack of Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the Supreme Soul, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though killing does not kill, nor is he ever affected with the reaction of such killing. When a soldier kills under the directions of the Supreme Lord, can go down, Prabhu. When a soldier kills under the command of a superior officer, he is not subject to be judged. But if a soldier kills on his own personal account, then he is certainly judged by a court of law. Text 18. Gyanam gyam pari gyatama trivida karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividaha karma sangaraha. Gyanam, knowledge. Yam, objective. Gyata, the knower. Trivida, three kinds. Karma, work. Chodana, impetuous. Karanam, the senses. Karma, work. Karta, the doer. Iti, thus. Trividaha, three kinds. Karma, work. Sangaraha, accumulation. Translation: knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower of the three factors which motivate action, the senses, the work, and the doer comprise the threefold basis of action. Prabhu, can I read that translation again? Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors which motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer comprise the threefold basis of action. Yes, Prabhu, we can go to the purport. There are three kinds of impure work: knowledge of knowledge and the knower. The instrument of work, the work itself, and the worker are called the constituents of work. Any work, there is some impetuous, which is called inspiration. Any solution arrived at before work is actualized for form of work. Then work takes the form of action. First one has to undergo the psychological processes of thinking, feeling, and willing, and that is called impetuous. Actually, the faith to perform act is called knowledge. Actually, the faith to perform act is called knowledge. The inspiration to work is the same if it comes from the scripture or from the instruction of the spiritual master. When the inspiration is there, and the spiritual, when the inspiration is there and the worker is there, then actual activity takes place by the help of the sense. The mind is the center of all senses, and the object is work itself. These are the different phases of work as described in Bhagavad Gita. The sum total of all activities is called accumulation of work. Yeah, Prabhu, I can read the last one there. Gyanam karma cha krata cha tridaiva guna bedataha prochate guna sankyane yatavak. How do you pronounce this, Prabhu? Yatavak shrinu tani api.
No, this one.
Yes, Prabhu.
It
Yatavak.
Yathavat Shrunutanyāpi Pruchyate
Okay.
Gunasankhyane Yathavat Shrunutanyāpi.
Okay, Prabhu. Synonyms: Jnanam, knowledge; karma, work; cha, also; krata, work; cha, also; trida, three kinds; eva, certainly; guna, bedataha, in terms of different modes of material nature; prochate is said; guna sankayane, in terms of different modes; yat yat avak, as they act; shrinu, here, Tani, all of them, Api also. Translation: in accordance with the three modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge, action, and performance of action. Listeners, I described there. Purport. In the 14th chapter, the three divisions of the modes of material nature were elaborately described. In that chapter, it was said that the mode of goodness is illuminating, the mode of passion materialistic, and the mode of ignorance conducive to laziness and indolence. All the modes of material nature are binding. They are not sources of liberation. Even in the mode of goodness, one is conditioned. In the 17th chapter, the different types of worshipping by different types of men in different modes of material nature were described in this verse. The Lord wishes to speak about the different types of knowledge workers and work itself according to the three material modes. Yeah, let me read last one, Prabhu. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tad jnanam vidhi sadvikam. Synonyms. Sarva Bhuteshu, in all living entities; Yena, by whom; Ekam, one; Bhavam, situation; Avyayam, imperishable; Ikshate, does; see; Avibhaktam, undivided; Vibhakteshu, in the numberless divided; that Jnanam, knowledge; Vidhi, knows; Satvikam, in the mode of goodness. Translation: that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence. Undivided is in the divided is knowledge in the mode of goodness. Purport: a person who sees one spirit soul in every living being, whether a demigod, human being, animal, bird, beast, aquatic, or plant, possesses knowledge in the mode of goodness. In all living entities, one spirit soul is there, although they have different bodies. In terms of their previous work, as described in the 17th chapter, the manifestations of the living force in every body is due to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. Thus, to see that one superior nature, the living force in every body, is to see in the mode of goodness. That living energy is imperishable, although the bodies are perishable. The difference is, can go down, Prabhu, perceived in terms of the body, because there are many forms of material existence in conditional life. Therefore, they appear to be divided. Such imperishable, impersonal knowledge finally leads to self-realization. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol. Okay, now let's go to six Astakam prayers because we read 1 hour ago. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namnamakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrar pitanya smarane nakalaha eta trishetava kripan bhagavan mamapi turdaiva metrisham hajinanurakpraha trinarapi sunichena taro api saeshnuna amanina manadina kirtaniya sada hari.
Natanam na janam na sundarim Kavitam va Jagadish Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaitukhi Tvayi.
Ainandatanujakin karam patitam mam vishame bhavam budo kripaya tvavapada pankaja stitaduli satrisham vijintaya.
Nanam Galad Shruta. Yes, Prabhu. Pranjal Prabhu, please chant Haribol. युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
Asisleva padaratham pinastumam adarshanam marmam hatam karotuva yata tatava vidatulan pato matprananatastu sa eva narpanaha.
Haribol. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus we have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Ribo, Bahu Janma Kareyadi Shavana Kirtan, Tabutan Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of Godhead that is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who are dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of the Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to disobey the order of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in precedence to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of the chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. One should I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like
Like desires
desire
of
trees, and they
confirmation
are full of compassion
conditions.
for the
So,
fallen souls.
Vanchakalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Oh, Prabhu, Semi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
I was saying, like, today I got a text from His Grace Nimai Nitai Prabhu
Oh, really?
asking me if it's possible to get a, what do you call this, a visa for
Yes, Prabhu.
Canada.
Is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible, Prabhu. I told him, but not in my area, in Johannesburg. It's like 200 kilometers away, but it's not far with taxi.
Yes, Prabhu. If you get money, you should go.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your association, Prabhu. See you again tomorrow.